Minions everywhere, even super minions. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about with this one. So let's jump into the review of the new film, Despicable Me 4. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, Despicable Me 4, coming to theaters July 3rd. So it's been 7 years since the previous film, and you start to wonder, could they recapture all of the magic from the previous film? And there was a lot of laughs in this one. It was a good time, but honestly, it was kind of like, okay, I seen it, I guess. On to the next one. I think for me, and based on my screen, I think the adults had an okay time. I think the kids were overly invested in it. They were laughing the entire time. But nonetheless, this has always been a franchise that really served both audiences. So like, yeah, there's some adult theme humor in there, not too much, not too easily dissectable, shall I say. But they did. And also they had, a lot of fun and crazy and wild things for the kids. And then there's the minions. The minions come in and they just bring this chaotic nature that everybody enjoys. But 7 years since the previous one, and seeing that this one was coming out this year, I was like, yeah, why not? And it has been a long time, and animation has gotten so much better, and there's been so many new animated films, television shows, as IPs, all that other good stuff. And Despicable Me still is one that, if you love the Minions, then you're going to be on board for it. But this one, super quick film. I mean, it was an hour and a half. It felt like an hour. It was an easy watch, besides my theater being just so hot. So I was just uncomfortable the entire time. But no, I really did think that this film was just very easy to ingest. And then afterwards, she's kind of like, yeah, I seen it. Not bad, But yeah, in this one now, Gru now, as he has become the world's favorite super villain turned anti-villain, League agent, returns in terms now to stop a supervillain, because he has an arch nemesis that they have some past. They go way back, going back to their 9th grade talent show. And Maxine here. Maxine has I don't know. Let's just say that Maxine has really used the powers of the cockroach, which definitely made me a little bit uncomfortable, but for all of the reasons why, I guess it makes sense. But nonetheless, he becomes a big threat. A big threat to the point that Gru actually got him locked up, and he escaped. And now with him escaping, that has put Gru and his entire family in danger, to the point they're in WITSAC, witness protection. So they had to move and restart their lives and go under an alias. So on one hand, you have this villain and Maxime, Maxime Le Mal, because it's French, who is voiced by Will Ferrell. Let me tell you right now that the Will Ferrell and Steve Carell voice battle is epic in this. And the fact that, because they're so good at voice acting, under no circumstance do you recognize either one of their voices. You just have to read the credits to realize that it was the two of them, or obviously Steve because of his tenure with this character. But their voice battle is epic. And then also a company alongside of Maxine is his girlfriend Valentina, who is voiced by Sofia Vergara. So, she don't have too much lines, but she has a lot of sass, and she's great as well too. So the voice acting's always been really good and entertaining in this. I'm gonna talk about the minions in a little bit, but in terms of the different conflicts of this movie, you do have just the overall story of the villain versus the good guy, and the good guy's trying to protect their family. But then because they had to relocate under witness protection, under new identities, and kind of restart their lives, everybody is adapting to this new life of theirs, and everybody has their challenges. So you have little small plots within that as well too. And then the minions are just chaotic, but that's not all, because in the AVL, the minions have been a subject to this new experimental testing of super serum. We all know this, and we all know where all this is going. and it turns them into the Mega Minions. And yes, they have characteristics of some of the popular superheroes of the world, even one being exactly like the Thing from the Fantastic Four. But you know, yeah, it has this superhero influences on it. It has a lot of pop culture influences in this film. Like there's a Spider-Man call reference, and there's a Terminator reference as well too. Like you can tell that this film really took its time in terms of like its inspiration from a lot of different other popular intellectual properties. So, you know, as I said, you know, Gru versus the Super Roach Man is truly like the whole battle of this. And to the point that like this film is built like a sandwich. Like the bread is that. It's the beginning and the end. And I mean the 15 minutes in the beginning, the 15 minutes of the end is that dynamic of Gru versus Super Roach Man is what I'm gonna call him. And then everything else in between is really about the family, and they're adapting to their new life, and everybody having their own little particular drama and so on. So, you know, the film is a bunch of laughs. You know, it's very easily digestible. The kids will have a great time. You know, whether you want to watch it in theaters or you want to wait till it's streaming, you can't go wrong. The animation is always good. Listen, let's just call it what it is. Illumination's animation has always been top tier. You don't have to worry about that at all. So like the eye candy of just watching these films alone is just so enjoyable. And it only just keeps getting better and better. And I saw this in IMAX, so like it's definitely the way to go on that note. But nonetheless, yeah, you know the animation is going to be top tier. I don't even have to spend too much time even emphasizing on that. But yeah, you will in fact find this film to just be another fun, good run in this franchise with all of the chaos of the minions. Not a lot of minions like I would have expected, but they were there, kind of hiding in the background and doing what they do. But there wasn't a big focus of them at all. Even the super serum or the super minion aspect of it kind of only paid dividends towards the very, very end, you know. So, you know, maybe for merch reasons and whatnot. But yeah, it was like little pockets of stories throughout the entire film to really compile into one overly enjoyable hour and 30-minute project. So yeah, check it out. Despicable Me 4 in theaters July 3rd. Simple watch, fun time. Not nothing to be overly excited for. Not something that if you miss, you're gonna, you know, have a case of FOMO. You'll be okay. But nonetheless, yeah, if it calls to you, need something to watch, the kids really want to check it out, do so. Yep, in theaters July 3rd. Jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts about this one when you check it out. And as always, stick around for more reviews very soon.